So I'm just nearly to 6 months. In about a week, I will be at 6 months. So um, things are going pretty well. I've been getting gendered correctly, especially on the phone, which is awesome. And I've been gendering myself correctly for a while now. I've got, if you can see, some facial hair. I'm growing my mustache out. I look like a teenage boy. But I don't really care because it's kind of exciting and I dig it. So the thicker the hair will get, the better. The thinning of my hair has started to slow down, which is nice because it was freaking me out for a while. Um, and let's see what else. Getting more used to my smell. Luckily, it's not summertime, so I am not sweating profusely, but um, some of the acne is kind of clearing up a little bit. I actually haven't been super oily throughout the this whole process, which is really interesting. Is that's one of the things that can happen. Just kind of a bummer because I'm like, damn it, I'm like super dry. That'd be actually helpful. Um, let's see what else. I do this past week went and had my court date and got my name changed. That was actually a lot easier and faster than I anticipated. I was talking to a couple other trans people who were there, and they were telling me about the ID project through Outside In, a local nonprofit, and they were showing me a piece of paper that basically said like this is the cheapest way to do it because I've seen things online kind of discussing like this might be a good process to do it as far as expenses go because it's friggin' expensive being trans like $116 to get your name changed, $116 to get your gender marker changed. Then you have to go to Social Security and get that changed. Then you have to go to the DMV and get your name changed, get your gender marker changed, get a new driver's license. I'm pretty sure I mean, I need to get a new title anyway, but get a new title because your name is on that. That's I don't even know how much that costs, but it's just like everything just racks up, in addition to um, seeing the doctor, getting blood work done, getting testosterone, syringes, needles, and yada yada yada. Like the list goes on. Luckily, luckily, I'm unemployed now, luckily, but I was able to just recently get onto Care Oregon, like a Medicaid or Medicare, whatever it is. So now seeing my doctor will be free, my prescriptions will be covered, blood work will be covered. I'm so freaking grateful for this because it's just like killing me. Um, all the expenses. But luckily, I went to Outside In and I talked to them because I didn't realize that you can get your name change and your gender marker change at the same time, just filing all the paperwork together, and it would just be $116. Well, I didn't. I didn't go through my proper resources and get that. I was just trying to figure it all out on my own. Um, So next Tuesday, I'm going to be going back to Outside In to be accompanied to the court in order to file that paperwork, and then that they will actually help me with those court costs, court fees as well. Um, so that's amazing. And then I'll also be receiving my name change documentation in the mail sometime soon. I don't know. They take forever to do anything really. It's like, oh yeah, the next court date for getting your gender marker changed is going to be in March. I'm like, that's like 2 months from now, like I understand you guys have a lot going on, but it's all just like a waiting game, which I guess is kind of good. Kind of allows me to save up some money in order for whatever more fees may come my way. Um, it's it's really interesting. A an old acquaintance of mine who I haven't talked to in quite a while. They were friends on Facebook, and they randomly messaged me saying that they thought that they were trans, and me coming out was really inspiring to them, and they were so sweet, and just they don't, I mean, they have the support of their family. They haven't come out, but they think that they would have support. They do live in Arizona, so healthcare and nonprofits that help trans people and all of those things are a little more hard to come by. Here in Portland, I have a support group, and I have a trans specific doctor, and I have a few trans friends that I can call on. So they're like, all and any information like you have to give me. You don't, like, I am really grateful for. You don't have to. Thank you so much, though. If there's anything you can tell me about, I've got a lot of depression and dysphoria, and it's endearing, but also super weird, and I don't, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess now I know more than other, like, I know more than they know, but it's all just been like a really big learning process, and I'm just trying to figure things out as I go. I have no idea what the hell I'm doing. Um, and a lot of times I don't know what to expect, but I guess because I'm curious and want to know what I am. I don't know what I'm doing ultimately, and me giving advice feels really weird. Um, I mean, ultimately, like, all of these videos are just me documenting things for myself. Like, I haven't even posted anything, um, and I don't really know if I'm going to or not. It feels weird and like narcissistic, whatever. Um, oh, so this, so I've got hair coming in right here. Well, I was letting it grow out, and I noticed myself kept going like this. I actually gave myself like a rug burn on my chin from my own facial hair. So that's funny. But anyway, yeah, it's really sweet that they're reaching out to me, and I feel honored to be able to like give them advice and help them in their process, because there's no handbook. There's no help. And if you're not in a place where there's someone who can guide you along, and more trans people that you can talk to and get more understanding, like, how does one know? There's hardly any visibility. So the internet is the only place that you can really find anything about anything. And a lot of times it's like, that's all just personal information. It kills me that there's not more, like, medical research being done as far as trans health things go, and the fact that we're all just having to talk to each other and be like these guinea pigs, it really sucks, and as far as like my tea shots, that I've been doing, and I've been getting the tea shots that are suspended in cottonseed oil, and I'm like, maybe I have a allergy or something like that because I keep getting these lumps or whatever. Like, I can't find anything online about it. And even like my doctor's like, well, I'm not quite sure, but make sure it's not itching or whatever because then it could be an allergy, blah, blah, blah. It's like, I, we should know these things. There should be more information. I'm online actually looking on like steroid websites and like looking at like bodybuilding websites and stuff and forums and trying to figure it out, troubleshoot my transition, honestly, um, because there is no research done. And it's quite a bummer. And I feel like there should be more resources, especially in this time of like, I'm trying to figure out who I am. I'm trying to manifest this person and come out to the world and be strong and be the person that I want to be, but also, maybe not have the support of my friends or my family or my doctors, roommates, anybody. You never know. And just the fact that we're just trying to push forward and move along and just figure things out as we go. I guess that does, take a lot of strength. Um it doesn't feel like that, this person that messaged me is like, you're so brave and you're so strong and this is amazing and I'm like, I don't know. I'm just doing what feels right and what I have to do, because I don't know. This is just the path that I feel I need to go down. And having stifled that for so long, it just feels good. Everything feels better. Um, and as far as like as my body goes, I had to they were talking about having a lot of dysphoria and if I experience that or what, and I don't really, not necessarily. Honestly, I've had to like learn to love my body because it was unhealthy for so long and it didn't do the things that I needed it to do, just basic functions. Then now when I look at my body, I'm like, whoa, hey, look at these legs. These legs have muscles on them and they help me walk and they help me run and longboard and bike, and my arms work, and I'm not constantly in pain, and that's a huge thing for me. um so not saying that one person is right or wrong or anything. That's just my experience, having had an illness that handicapped me. So now looking at my body, I'm like, okay, there are things that aren't necessarily like the best, and I'd like to have them. I'd like for them to change, but I don't know. I'm digging the way things are going, and I'm after having done a little more research on like top surgery and things like that. I'm actually getting more pecs. My breast tissue is kind of like um, decreased. They've gotten more soft and kind of malleable, and they've lowered. So, which is interesting because since they've lowered, I can kind of like see my pec muscle easier. which kind of gives me an idea more so of what my chest will look like after I have surgery. But I've also looked up a few that there are a lot more um, types of surgery. There's like the keyhole, and there's one where they, if you're small enough, they literally just like take all the excess out of there, and if your skin is elastic enough, it'll basically just do it itself. And they just make a couple incisions, and it's a lot less painful. You don't have the scarring under the pec. Because for me, that's like one of my main concerns is what is the scarring going to look like? Is it going to be horrific? Because I scarred terribly. I'll get a little cut or whatever, and it'll just keloid. I'm not quite sure why that is. Maybe something in my ethnicity or something like that. But yeah, I don't want that. I want to be able to take my shirt off and feel proud, and I like the way my arms look. I like the way my stomach looks. It's like everything looks good. Looks good. Everything looks good. No, everything, I'm comfortable with everything. The only thing is really just my chest isn't exactly where I want it to be. And I guess I'm getting less and less scared of it and more excited about it, especially now that I'm on, Oregon Health Plan. Um, that is something that is covered under that you have to get approved for, obviously, but and get on a waiting list. I don't know how long that takes, but definitely intend to talk to my doctor the next time I go in, which I'm going to have blood work done next next Wednesday, and then doctor's appointment after that point. Make sure my levels are right, and talk about the next steps. So yeah, everything is going really well. Um, as far as trans stuff goes, but it's exciting. It really is. I'm happy to see the changes that have happened. So.